Good evening, folks. Uh, Today my wife and I were riding along Highway 141. We were riding to complete our ride along the Wilson's Arch slash Monticello, Utah loop. It's a 176-mile loop from our home down US 90 down Colorado 90 to uh, Utah 46, 191, 491 to 141. That's the quick description. In the movie before us, we're just now entering Slick Rock Hill, and this is one of the deadliest hills in Colorado. I was looking over the history of this hill before I started this voiceover, and it pointed out that since June of 21, there has been at least 6 motorcycle-related deaths on this hill, and you can see why. Limited guardrails. They don't, and you'll notice farther down the hill here, and I went to a standing position here to give a better view. But see how the rocks along the road. They're kept very close to the road, right off the white line. It's enough of a grade at 6 to 8% where trucks need to watch their brakes. You see all the brakes locking up on this hill. The switchbacks on this hill are intense. There's, a number of corners here that could compare this to, it's in the 20 or 30s, but look at the degree of the turn. These are all 30 to 35-mile-an-hour related corners. All those guardrails that you see there that are so pretty and shiny never used to exist on Slick Rock Hill. And as you wind down, note how the road just dips into the cliffside. They dug it right in. They didn't blow those cliffs very far off. So if you go off the road there, you're right off the shoulder line, you smack into a cliff. And then at the bottom of the hill down here, and we're approaching that now, we're coming into an area that is Slick Rock Hill that used to be a mining community. It's off to the left here. But as you cross this bridge, this is the Dolores River again. That was a very fatal bridge. There has been so many, that one right there. There has been so many deaths on that bridge. I know of at least 4 deaths on that bridge within the last year. People come out here drinking and driving, riding ATVs and side-by-sides, all this stuff, and these roads are not forgiving. And again, I mentioned this in another fatality video that I recorded regarding deaths on an accident in the Crown Rally. Uh, Here we're turning around as we're escaping the Slick Rock Basin, and we're trying to look at this large rock in the background. My wife actually did catch petroglyphs on that large tan rust-colored rock back there. So we're going to go back and get further details on that later. But this is one of these areas this is Highway 141 bound for Natarita. And this is one of these areas where the fatality rate is high, the emergency response rate is slow. It would take emergency responders an hour to an hour and a half to get off the Slick Rock Hill to assist you. And generally, that's one of the factors in accidents and deaths on that hill is people cannot get to you. Dove Creek, Colorado is far away as well. And all this area is desolate, hard to get to. And as you can tell, we're now coming out of that basin and we're headed out on Disappointment Valley. This is a very broad and open spectral valley, or excuse me, desert valley. Dolores River does run through it. You can see strips of green down in the desert there. That's where the river's running. Again, we're following the Dolores River and its windings through southwest Colorado. We followed it all the way down from Rico through Dolores, all the way around to Dove Creek. We keep crossing it over and over and over because we keep basically following the Dolores River as we move along. But on this ride, we came back to it, and this is a very common way to get to Natarita. It's one of 2 roads that don't stem off the freeway to the north that do lead to it. Highway 141 off of US 191, and then there's Highway 46 to Highway 90 off US 191 as well in eastern Utah. We're progressing through Disappointment Valley, and I always progress through here at about 75 miles an hour. This is a long stretch. You don't want to run them too hard because you don't want to get hot. The heat out in this valley is intense. It is as hot and dry as it appears. And this is a very green year for this area. So if you break down out here, especially in the evening or in non-traffic hours or things along that line, or if you were to go off-road or have an accident, it's fatal. Now, as we go up this hill, we're going to be entering the area known as Big Gypsum Valley, And that'll bring us to the end of our recording. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant day.